Hello, I'm Sophie welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a slightly different video than normal. Today, I just kind of wanted to talk about my current writing inspiration and the things that are really helping me get through the writing process right now. So, I have 5 categories, kind of, that this video will be split into. We have music, movies and TV, YouTube, books, and art. That's what we're going to be covering. Yay! So, first, music. This is both rediscovering old stuff that I found when I was writing a book for the first time or at a certain point, and also listening to new music and realizing that this also can connect to my stories in some way. And there are also like certain artists that I connect to certain stories, and just listening to them again, like some groups or some artists I have just like stopped listening to, and I found them recently again, and I'm like, oh my god, now I want to write Project What? Now I want to write Project Glass. Like, it's tough. It's tough. Project What is very closely tied to Cage the Elephant, Arctic Monkeys, and Gorillas, for me. In my brain. I hear those 3, I think of Project What, and I want to write it. I want to write it. She's sitting right here. I want to work on this story so bad right now, but I'll hold off. I'll be patient. I'll be patient because I really want to actually like dedicate time to her. And I don't have that right now, but she's sitting and waiting. She's waiting and staring at me. And Project Star is very connected to I Don't Know How But They Found Me and Hosier for me. Very different sounds, I know. Whenever I hear those two, that is Project Star. And recently I found that Project Glass is very Japanese breakfast and Vansire. I think I'm saying that right. Vansire? So, just discovered those as well. But if you have any music recommendations for me, please hit me up. I'm always willing to give some new albums, some new artists to try. And if it fuels my motivation for writing more, that's just a win. Second, movies and TV. I don't have a ton on this because for some reason I have a really bad attention span when it comes to television shows, but I can read books. I can read book series, I can watch movies, but a lot of the time I like struggle a lot with finishing TV shows unless I'm like super motivated to finish it. Like before, when The Dragon Prince was only 3 seasons, I finished that in a heartbeat. That was done, okay? Because I ate that up. Now it's like 6 seasons or something, or 5. I'm trying to catch up on it. I have started again from episode 1, like season 1, episode 1, and I'm trying to get back into it so I can actually watch the rest of the series, but it's slow going so far. I've also been trying to watch a lot of like sci-fi. I say a lot, it's like 3 main ones. First of all was the 3 Body Problems series on Netflix, which, as you guys probably know, probably my favorite book series of all time. The show was incredible. I love it. I see the direction they're taking the story, and I'm very excited to see how it plays out with the rest of the trilogy. Watched that. That was very inspirational. And Arrival, another sci-fi film that is amazing. I love that movie. I've watched it like 5 times in the last month and a half. It's a very good movie. You should watch it. It's about alien contact, if you don't know. And then one that I have been watching very recently and I haven't finished yet is Scavenger's Reign on Max, I think, HBO Max. It's an animated, like, adult animation about this crew that gets stranded on a remote planet and they're all trying to get back to the, like, mothership so they can go home. Have not finished that one, but I do like it so far. The world building is very cool. But all of these are just kind of showing me how other people structure their sci-fis. I mean, just story structure in general, but also like what aspects of the world building they like to show and what concepts they introduce. And that's been very good, especially right now since I am writing a sci-fi trilogy. Been really good to like guide me in the right direction, and they're all good. They're all enjoyable to watch. So, also The Dragon Prince, just because it's a fun show. Yeah, don't worry about that one. Once again, if you have recommendations, I love sci-fi, hit me up. Hit me up. I'm always looking for new sci-fi movies, sci-fi shows sometimes if I actually end up watching them, but more so movies because I'm so bad with shows. Then, third, YouTube. I would say mostly video essays. I have not been watching a lot of writer content on here, which is probably strange as I make writing content, but something lately, like I can watch like one a month. And that's kind of all that gets onto my feed. But lately, it has been video essays that have really gotten the writer brain cooking. And I don't really watch a ton of them, like a ton of different creators like that. And I definitely am not able to watch those like hour-and-a-half long video essays, though they do seem very interesting. But like the minute I see that it's an hour and like 20 minutes long, I'm like, actually, I'm good. But my two biggest ones right now are Drew Gooden and Curious Archive. Drew Gooden is more of like a commentary kind of channel. I feel like he's moving more towards video essaying, a lot of like franchise and like show reviews, and like he does a lot of videos about the actual writing behind shows and whether it's good or bad. Like his Star Wars video, he has a video of like comparing new Star Wars series on Disney Plus. That video is so good. That video makes me want to write my sci-fi so bad every single time I watched it, and I probably watched it over 20 times. And it also has a bunch of good information about good writing, not even just like for shows or for like the screen, but like just writing in general, which is also nice. We're also learning something new, you know? And then Curious Archive is a channel that focuses on like speculative biology and like the world building of video games and concept arts and all this cool stuff that has really helped with my own world building lately, especially with like species design or like world design. Like a lot of what they focus on that channel is art-based, visual-based. So you get a lot of visual ideas, which has helped with my drawings, which you have probably seen in this video. It helped a lot. So shout out Curious Archive. They won't see this, but that's fine. But that's fine. But honestly, anything talking about storytelling or like story building and like world building is my favorite. I've been watching a lot of like video game reviews too, but like reviews of the story, not really reviews of the game. It like actual gameplay. It's more of like, how was the story of this game? How was it going through the entire thing and like discovering this world, and also like how engaging was it, blah blah blah. Anything like that, I'm in. I'll put it on in the background, type out a few words. Who's to complain? Next, books. Writers have to read. If you don't think writers have to read, I don't know where you're coming from. I've read some very good books lately. If you follow me on Instagram, this was not recently, but I finished the Mistborn trilogy, finally, after starting it 4 years ago. I finally said the end on the last book, which, do not hit me up. Trilogy was incredible. My two favorite characters lived throughout the entire thing, so big ups on me. I was literally distraught at the end, but it was like a good distraught. Well, kind of a bad distraught, because I was in grief. Still amazing. Amazing series. Really hyped me up to hopefully build something close to that. I will not reach that level ever, I think, but to work towards something like that, that is the goal. And I also, it's right here, makes it easier. I finished this book recently as well, Heaven by Maiko Kawakami. Very, very good. I love this. I love the way she writes. Her prose is like addicting. I think I read this in 2 or 3 days. It's a short book, but lately 2 to 3 days to finish a book is impressive. I read this right after I finished The Hero of Ages, which took me 5 months to read, because I needed something light. This was not light, by the way, but I needed something a little more simple to let my brain rest after finishing that giant series. And I know I can trust my girl. I know I can trust Maiko Kawakami. This was kind of rough in the actual material of the book because it's about 2 kids that get bullied, and it's pretty gruesome. Well, not, like, they don't get, like, tortured, but, like, it's pretty not fun. But her prose, this and Breasts and Eggs, both great books. Breasts and Eggs is one of my favorite books, but this was good prose inspo because she has a very strong voice, and that is also a goal. That is also a goal, to have a somewhat unique voice. Don't know how unique that will be, but one that can be recognized. Yeah, and one of my current reads right now is another sort of like prose inspo. It is written so beautifully. It is The Land of Milk and Honey. It is really cool so far. It has really cool world building. It's kind of almost apocalyptic, but like a soft apocalyptic. Like, obviously things are going wrong and it feels like the end of the world because people are dying of like starvation and like they can't grow food. That's the thing, they can't grow food. But it's not like aggressive. It's not like Mad Max or something where like the world's gone awry. Okay? It's kind of in the background. It's kind of just looming all the time. And it feels very realistic in that way that it's just like, it's there. You don't think about it all the time. It's not being shoved down your throat because you learn to adapt and live with it. But it is still there and it is still affecting their lives. It is very good. It's about cooking. So there's a lot of like food terminology in there, and a lot of the prose and the descriptors are also food-based even when they're not talking about food, and I thought that was very cool. I think that's very fun. It's just really good. It's really good. I've been reading it very slowly because I usually only read it when I'm at the gym. Oops. What I have been reading, I'm about halfway through it. Very good. Very good so far. Yeah, that's my conclusion. And then finally, drawings and art. And yes, this is my own art, my own drawings, which might seem vain and a little self-centered, but let me live my life. I will admit, sometimes I like a piece so much that I draw that it inspires me to write every time I see it. Here's one. That is Elliot from Project What, one of my favorite drawings I've ever done. He is my little baby boy, and that is him. That is his likeness. Not only is it like one of my favorite drawings ever, but I think that looks exactly like how I imagine him in my head, because I'm really bad at translating what I see for my characters in my head and accurately putting it on the page. It always ends up kind of off, but this is Elliot. This is Elliot right here. Another one you have seen recently, probably, if you've been on this channel before. This is the Alturi. I really like this drawing. I really like this drawing a lot, and when I see it, it makes me want to write my sci-fi because I get to use this design in the book. Well, in my head. It's not actually in the book, but, you know, in spirit. Also in this sort of category is also book covers that I've made. Once again, vain, but I made them and I'm proud of them, okay? Let me live. One, of course, is this bad boy. I love this cover. I think this is so cute. I would never be able to actually use this cover because I don't own the rights to any of these images, but for now, I'm not selling it. It's mine. It's okay. This one and Project Moss's cover, which is in the same theme as this, that one makes me want to get Project Moss up to this level so I can print it out and I can have both of them. I also have plans for making the third book a cover like this, so once they're all up to like draft 3 status, or at least to this prose, I can have the whole trilogy. That would be so fun. I have not designed the cover for the third book yet, but there are plans. There are plans and I'm planning them. Also, the cover I have for Project Star currently, I don't know if I've shown this anywhere, but this is it. Ooh. I also adore this cover. I don't know how it's gonna print because it's a very low quality image. But that is okay. That's okay. This cover is just for me. Once again, I do not own the rights to this image. I think it's an asset image. Sorry. I'm not selling it though. I'm not making money off of it. It's just mine. Every time I see this cover, I want to have the trilogy done so I can print it out and bind it. I don't think I'm gonna bind the trilogy actually, so it's gonna take a little while to actually print it out with this cover, but when the day comes, I will be very excited. But that is everything I have. Thank you for listening to me just talk about things I like for however long this video ends up being. What are some things that inspire you to write? It could be the most random thing in the world. It could be literally anything in the whole wide world. I would love to know. So let me know in the comments and hope to see you in the next one. Peace.